All right, so to solve linear inequalities by graphing, we're just going to graph these lines like we normally would, but we have to remember a couple of things. If it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, or if it has that line underneath, it's going to be a solid line. If it's greater than or just less than, it's going to be a dotted line. Um, if your inequality is greater than, you shade above your line. If it is less than or less than or equal to, you shade below. So let's look at this example. So we're going to graph this top inequality first. So we start with our y-intercept, just like when we graphed systems of equations with just lines. So we start at -3, and my slope is 3/2. So remember, that's rise over run. So I go up from this point, I go up 3, right 2, put a second dot. So I want to ask myself those questions. Am I going to have a solid or dashed line or solid or dotted line? So since this is greater than or equal to, it's going to be solid. And since it's greater than, I'm going to shade above. So to change your line type, you just click change line, but we want a solid line, so I'm not going to mess with that. So if you click change shade and you want to click it so it shades above, like this would be above my line. So that's my first inequality. So now we're going to graph this bottom one. So I start up at 8 because that's my y-intercept, and my slope is -1/3. So I go down 1, right 3, and I want to check, am I going to have a dotted or solid line? Once again, this is less than or equal to, so that equal to means it's solid. Since it's less than or equal to, though, I'm going to shade below. So just make sure you're looking, oops, um, looking at this top line. So when I click this change shade, like notice it's shaded above, now it's below, which is what I wanted because it's less than. So the last thing it's going to ask us for is a point. So you can pick any point like in this dark blue area, like any point that's inside this area, it will take. So I don't know, I could do 0, 0. I could do -4, 4. I could do -6, -3. Any of those points would work. I'll do -4, 2. But there's a lot of points to choose from in this problem. Sometimes your area might be a little bit smaller, but there's definitely always going to be more than one answer for you to choose. So we submit it, and we got it. So you can see the point they picked was -7, -10, but it would take any point that's in that region as long as you got your shading correct. So that's how you solve linear inequality systems by graphing.